Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship here in Hanover, Germany at CeBIT. Another great game coming up on stage. SK Gaming versus Evil Geniuses.
Well, there's a rival and a half.
There's a rival. Now, EG did win the last game, but it's over a month ago now.
It was way back.
Yeah, it was a while ago when they last played, middle of February over in the LCS. It was a matchup that Evil Geniuses actually won. But since then, we're seeing a slightly different Evil Geniuses team. You know, they tend to do okay in the early, exchanges in lanes, but as soon as we start getting to these team fights and the bigger engagements, EG just seem a little bit lost at the moment.
Well, what they've been saying about their games today. They used to have a bit of a shaky early game, but they held it together, and then their mid game and their late game would be phenomenal, and no one could take a late game. That's the way they play. They took it there, and they killed everyone. Team fights were incredible. Now, and this weekend in LCS, and the last games we're doing today, they've been winning the early game. They've had a strong early game, but then they let it slip. They just can't hold on to it. So whatever they're trying to do, this new playstyle they're trying to mix in, not quite settled yet. Unfortunately, that's the way things go. If you are trying to learn a new playstyle, if you are trying to completely relearn the game as effectively is, you're going to have some hiccups. You're going to have some setbacks. It doesn't come instantly. A little bit of a shame that that hiccup is the IEM World Championships, but ultimately it's what you've got to do. So we'll see if it works against SK. This is one of the most experienced teams they play against in terms of how many times they've met each other. So they should be in each other's heads.
The stakes are, if EG lose, SK wins, their hopes are alive. SK stays alive and can still possibly advance. If EG wins, they're still out because they are already out, but they take SK down with them. And how much do they hate each other?
Ooh, they don't hate each other at all.
Not at
These
all.
guys are...
Let's put it this way. They have a very good rivalry between them. That's the correct way to put it. And they're actually all friends, on the field of battle and off it as well. They have a lot of talks. They have a lot of friendly discussions back and forth. In this particular matchup, SK Gaming are going to be the blue team. They won the coin toss, which means they will have first pick, first ban, and Evil Geniuses will be on the red team on the other side of the coin. So we'll see, how this decides to play out. Are we going to see an Nivea ban, Panky?
Actually, I don't think we will. I think Ocelot's played against enough, is confident against enough, they've played them enough, they don't need to. But with the first ban going against Lux already, to see the rest of their bans go against Nivea, go against Froggen as well wouldn't surprise me.
We're so quickly
did it as I was saying it. I was coming off my tongue. But what does surprise me, EG ban on Diana. Honestly, seeing Ocelot play earlier wasn't very impressive. You mentioned he missed a lot of Crescent strikes. He went into a lot of odd places, face-checking into bushes that had wards and had pings on them to say there's a guy in there, and he walked straight into a charm. So there's a couple of odd moments, but EG deciding don't want to risk it. Don't want to give him that opportunity to play a good game and stop him.
They ban Nivea, I guess take it away from Froggen. Thresh, not surprising in the ban, neither is Kale. Diana surprised me too. And V, we've seen her banned a lot, only picked a couple of times, but I guess...
EG have banned her every game they've played on this stream so far.
Yes, that's true.
And also, Hercubard's Vi has been particularly strong. He used it to great effect in the LCS. He's very, very powerful with that champion and has been doing, exceptional in that particular league. So taking that out the discussion, we do see Snoopy sitting on Volibear, and I know that's if it gets locked in, it's going to be a decision that a lot of people might talk about because there's been a lot of discussion around Snoopy's Volibear and how much of an impact it can actually put on a matchup.
A lot of discussion around all of Snoopy's new champions at the moment. He's just not seemed to have that same effect as before. And again, Volibear is one of these aggressive champs. He's got to run straight in and start a fight. I mean, it's a little bit similar to his old styles now, the Maokai's Sky, and go in, grab someone, pull them back, start a fight. So maybe he'll have more luck with this than Jarvan, who just goes straight in and stays in. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not even going to comment on it because they're a troll.
Well, let's just quickly touch. Is being reworked. There is some news out there. Just, there you go.
Pretty stuff.
Move along.
Yes. But Sona pick then, that's going to go down to Krupp in the bottom lane. Aggressive bottom lane. Early poke, very strong, but very squishy too. So they have to be very careful as to how much poke she takes and how many snares she takes. That Zyra, I presume, is going to be in the support role, something that Nif has run from time to time with Candy Panna running Varus. I've seen a couple of Varuses so far this tournament. Haven't really seen him make incredible impacts. Arkel in that last game, getting caught a lot, unfortunately. Dying 1v1 to Shy 3 times in a row. Died back to top lane, died back to top lane. A little bit surprising, but we'll see if Hercule can do it. And on top of that, it takes it away from Yellow Pete, who has been playing a lot of Varus recently.
Yeah, it's been his go-to AD carry in terms of the competitive League of Legends tournaments that he's been taking part in. Froggen is sitting on Cinch right now, which means it's probably going to be played by Wicked if that does get locked in. Sitting 0-3, their other tournament has been locked.
You say played by Wicked, but Froggen himself just switched to Flash Ghost, which is the set of summoners you take on Singed.
Well, we'll see. Ignite Flash sitting at the moment. If it's going to be a Singed in the mid lane, you know, for EG at the moment, like we said, they have nothing to lose right now. They're out of the tournament. There's no way for them to come back into this, into the playoffs. If, however, they win, they take SK Gaming down with them. So there's that rivalry coming into play. Cogmore has been locked in for Yellow Pete. We know he's a very, very good Cogmore. The sustain and the fact that they've got, a fairly early game poke from Sona, as well as some damage from that Biochem Barrage, as long as they don't get caught up by too many snares, I think they can hold their own against the Varus Zyra lane because of the fact they have sustain. But if they do get caught by those cross screens, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And it looks like Hercubot wants to take jungle Nasus.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he played it in the Oscars not long ago, and that's the first time he'd ever touched the champion. You mentioned he leveled it a little bit differently, his ability, he went Q rather than E, which is different to Diamond procs, but we'll see whether he does it again. Being told that's wrong, actually, apparently he didn't. But we'll see what he goes with in this game. And we have got Ocelot back in his Orianna. We mentioned that before, how I thought it would have been a stronger pick in the previous games. He's going to try it this time. There's been a Z pick on the CLG's had a very quick last Z pick. We did see Alex Hitch running Z in the mid lane earlier on in the early games of yesterday's group stage.
Building up Blade of the Ruin team and just going full DPS and super aggression. We'll see how it plays out at the moment. It does look like that Wicked is going to be the one wanting to take that Z. So it's going to be, Zed versus Shen in the top lane. Ninja on Ninja action.
Yep. And
in the mid lane, Orianna versus Singed. How does Orianna do against a Singed?
Apparently it was virtual from Against All Authority. Sorry, that played Nasus in a slightly different setup. So thank you for that correction. How does Orianna face up against Singed? I'd imagine quite well. He's going to have to run through all those creeps, so she's going to have to land a lot of poke, land a lot of slows, but at the same time, what the hell? It could go anyway. So we'll see what the casters have to say.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen because the game is underway. Well, not quite yet, but it's loading. The casters are ready. I'm super stoked to see this one. Fighting. Good luck, have fun to all the players and all the fans cheering for their favorite team. Lee, D-Man Smith, Jason Kaplan, take it away.
Thank you very much, Jarrett. And wow, interesting picks coming out from Evil Geniuses. Immediately, we do see Singed mid. Ocelot, how is he going to deal with this one? He's got his Orianna. Hercubot's got the dog. He's going to be happy with that one. Zed, top. That's Wicked's champion. He did play it against I think it was SK Telecom last match they played. I was just watching him off the side there. And he did manage to play it. He actually had a really good start, but it didn't work for them. So, this has some interesting possibilities, this game, and there's a lot of interesting possibilities in the group. There is technically a nightmare possibly for the admins that everybody could go 2 and 3 in this group, apart from obviously Nexus and CJ enters Frost. So that third place could well be a full-on tie. We don't know. There's a lot of eventualities, but of course no team is out of the competition yet.
I'm glad you said it
that way, because there's a lot of different possibilities that can happen here. But Jason, level 1, we haven't seen anything really on the mainstream. I don't know about second stream, of course. Pastry Time and Papa Smithy bringing you that on the other stream. But as it is, level 1, we've not seen any engagements yet.
But Demon, we have the double flippity floppity. We have the double. How are you going to do that? You have to come up with a new one for Singed, I guess.
I'll have to think of it when we get to it.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. No, there hasn't been a lot of level 1 action as SK just being defensive. I mean, remember last time EG was aggressive and LCS super weak, they kind of face checked and lost the game because of that. But Nasus, that's kind of a really big thing for SK because Singed doesn't really do too much against them. I mean, if you give him that nice slow, you have the speed up from Orianna, it's going to be very nice to also lock him down with Zyra and Varus, not to mention the Shen taunt. So Froggen is going to have an interesting time. I don't think I've ever seen him play Singed once.
There's a 5-man walk around from SK Gaming here. They thought EG had invaded on their jungle. That's why every single member was there ready and waiting. They were thinking, we can have this. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Kevin is going to go head down the bottom, so it's going to actually be a 1v1. Wicked will be meeting him down there. So, Zed versus Shen. When that works out, eventually it will do. I think it's going to be going in there. We are seeing actually Froggen taking away the race on his own right now. So, interesting style across the board. There's Froggen. He's going to be taking the race, so he's going to be joining the lane. Will that take him to level 2? I think it will.
We've seen Dyrus do this before. It wasn't take him all the way to level 2 just yet.
What's he going to buy?
Oh, he's got teleport.
He's going to buy something and teleport straight in the middle. It's actually Wicked in the middle. So it's going to be Wicked versus Ocelot in that mid lane. So Zed versus Orianna, and now this is a different kettle of fish. This actually makes a lot of sense, but is the lane switching for actually full-on lane switching. It means that, you know, Wicked is happy playing on Zed. He's been doing a heck of a lot in solo queue. And it does do a heck of a lot of damage to Orianna. You can see already getting that poke down. Singed off the side versus Shen. Total sense.
Yeah, I mean, and Shen's gonna have a really hard time doing anything to Froggen to kill him. And speaking of Zed, I mean, we've seen Alex Leach play him yesterday, did insanely well, kept diving on the AD carries, blowing them up, popping them instantly. And Wicked, he's probably can do the same thing here as Varus, very squishy, so is Zyra. And I'm trying to think, where is like the real action gonna go down, as, you know, Ocelot's gonna be very passive in the mid lane. The top lane is also gonna be a little bit aggressive, but obviously not until level 6.
Yeah, as it is, the top lane, see Yellow Pete is gonna have a little problem early on. Candy Panda, Varus is going to be pressuring him a heck of a lot, but I just wanted to see, what can you make of Ocelot's roots? Has he prepared for this? Is he expecting to be against Singed, or was he expecting to be against Zed?
Oh, he's running, it looks like flat armor and flat magic resist runes, so...
He was ready and waiting. Oh, we are seeing Hercubot coming in towards the middle. Who let the dog out? It was Hercubot, and he's going to go on towards Wicked, but I'm not sure if they got enough damage. Ignite's going to go down. Can it be finished off, though? No! Wicked survives it, and now Ocelot actually dropped low. Wow.
Yeah, actually almost got creep locked right there and actually killed. And they didn't have an Ignite to actually lock down Wicked. He's gonna have a tough time here as Snoopy is gonna come around and help him keep his lane while Wicked heals up from those health pots. Great gank out of Hercubot right off the bat.
Straight away, they're keeping the pressure down, and Hercubot, well, is he gonna throw a Spirit Fire at Wicked? Of course he is. He does manage to get a bit of poke back. Kept on though, and we do move into the 4 minute, and nobody gonna be tower diving. Nothing crazy coming out, but as it is the bottom lane, Froggen has managed to keep up his CS. And I wonder how Kevin's going to deal with this one. It's like, this just feels all manner of wrong. Kevin versus Froggen.
Yeah, it's very true. But Kevin, I mean, he's been such a solid player for them in LCS, even today, and he's a very good Shen. I don't really think I've ever seen them match up against each other. Then again, when do we ever see Froggen on Singed anymore?
Well, the same could be said for Ocelot, of course, versus Wicked. These are lanes that you don't often get unless there's some particular meta shift, but now Hercubot's in trouble. He's got that double buff, and we see Snoopy coming in with a double buff of his own. He's going to flip him in towards Wicked. There we go. Damage will go back down. Spirit Fire thrown out, but here comes Ocelot. Puts the defensive ball down. Snoopy gets the kill. It goes through. Manages to go invisible in the bush, but Ocelot pokes him down with a basic attack. Now Wicked's in trouble. Ocelot's going to continue. He picked up the double buff of his own, and Wicked forced to get the hell out of there.
And Ocelot coming out ahead, even though we did lose 1-1. Coming in with that double buff is going to be huge for him. It allows him to, you know, really harass Wicked in the lane with his auto attacks, taking that red buff. Not to mention the damage from his passive, which really goes underestimated sometimes. He keeps stacking over and over, giving you more magic damage. So Ocelot looking very good right now. Looks like he is going for Catalyst, maybe a Rod of Ages, just get a little bit tanky. I wouldn't be surprised actually at a Seeker's Arm Guard as well, just to survive the laning phase.
And we can see Crepo getting a bit of pressure on him from Candy Panda as well, just as you see, very well played by Niftheb, using the plants to completely zone Yellow Pete out of that so Candy Panda could put the pressure down on Crepo. It's great to see such intricate play from these two duo laners. Obviously well versed about fighting each other. I expect to see Yellow Pete. Is he going to throw out the Void Ooze? Yes, he is. He's going to prevent the backing there. Of course he will.
And even though that little bit engage was very nice, they're up against a sustain lane, so they're going to have a problem either way. They're going to have to back out and heal and get, you know, a Vamp Scepter to kind of keep up with that sustain. We do have Froggen being very aggressive. Does toss Kevin, but I don't think he can actually go for a kill here.
Well, he may do. Gets Shadow Dash across there, but he's got a great big wave of minions and he's running into poison. Froggen taking low, but he can just eat that health pot down. May even just wait for the cooldown to come back, but has no vision of that river. Has the Tribush there, but outside of that, what are you seeing?
Oh, I'm just looking at Froggen. Hasn't put 1 point in his W yet, and is making adhesive. I mean, that's to me assuming that no one's, or Snoopy's not willing to come down there and give any ganks, not do any double flips because they just want to, just to farm up with that fling and that poison, just to harass a little bit more.
But look at the farm. I mean, we're talking farm. Look at Wicked versus Ocelot. He's got almost double the CS in this mid lane. Of course, there is the one kill that Ocelot picked up to get that double buff. That's going to help him out a bit there. But as it is, he's 200 gold behind Wicked already in this mid lane, and you know, no one really farms better than top laners. It is their job.
Yeah, and he's also an AD assassin, so also has to play a little passive until he gets a couple of items. Wicked is level 6 right now, and I think he almost has the damage he needs to really burst down Ocelot. Once he gets that Ignite up, I think we could see that engage and a kill going down there.
You do see Snoopy ready and waiting, but spotted by the ward. Are they going to be able to try and counter this and set it up with anything? It doesn't look like Nif and Candy Panda are going to try any shenanigans and are just staying well back out of the way here, and Candy Panda's continuing to keep his farm going. Hercubot having a look down the bottom there, passes the Tribush ward. What is Froggen going to do? Is he going to bait this one out and maybe try and draw something? We do see Snoopy showing himself, so maybe they're just going to try and shove out this turret. There's Hercubot. The moment Hercubot showed himself bottom, Snoopy came out.
Yeah, they kind of want to put a lot of pressure in here, or even Molten back out. I mean, I say pressure, and yet they end up leaving.
Blue. They're going to try and steal the blue.
Yeah, that'd be very nice. Keep that away from Ocelot. As it just, the double just ran out for Ocelot. I was expecting Wicked to maybe go in, try to steal him away. As he comes around the corner, just to put a ward there. It looked like they were trying to actually catch him a little bit.
They may catch him. They do get the Voidos down. They're going to keep the poke on towards Candy Panda. You saw the power cord as well getting the slow from Crepo, but they're not aware of really where the rest of the positions are. Ocelot had come over, but they're still lingering around. They want to go for this red buff. They haven't got vision in that bush, so they don't know that Kevin is there. Kevin and Ocelot now going to come around as well. He's starting to head across. You can see the grasping roots, but Nif's going to get damage down to us, but they get a Shadow Dash. Catch on towards Yellow Peak, cleanses it off. He's going to have Wicked coming around to try and help out. Here comes the teleport. Froggen comes in as well. Nif taken very low. Kevin taken very low with that Shadow Dash. Oh, but the shockwave from Ocelot comes in. He's going to flash through. Yellow Peak goes down, but Yellow Peak will get the passive explosion. Now Ocelot can pick up another one. Crepo gets away, and he picks up that kill like a true scumbag.
And a 1 for 2 for EG, and looks like they might be able to get this blue buff. A really good effort on SK's part to try to secure it. We could have seen Kevin just sit in the bush.
Froggen, I think. Oh, let's see what Snoopy. Candy Panda's going to come back around. Froggen's going to get the flip onto Candy Panda, puts him in towards the poison. But here comes Stand United once again. And now Hercubot comes back in there. Can he get it away? He's going to get on towards Snoopy. The rate is not going to be enough. He should be able to slow down. And he walks away. That bear trots off on his hind paws.
Like I was saying, it was a very good effort for SK to do that, because Kevin, he could have just stayed in the bush and could have just smited it away and stole it. But instead, he actually showed himself just to kind of secure it for Ocelot. We do have EG's blue up at this point, so I'm curious if SK is going to make a play on it, or Ocelot has a tier built up instead of that Catalyst he was going for. He's going to need the extra mana regen to really do anything against Wicked, who is now 0-0-2, has boots, and has had a lot of gold as he picks up a Brutalizer full out.
But we talk about CS, and it's Evil Geniuses with the advantage, 63-49, 60-46. Those lanes are leading, but the bottom lane, you can see Candy Panda is slightly ahead as well. Hercubot going to take away his own red. We do see the duo lane switching around, so Froggen's going to be 2v1 in now. Let's see how he handles that one in that top lane. Also, in the bottom lane, of course, it is Crepo and Yellow Pete pushing down there. Candy Panda keeping the damage on the turret. Needs to be careful he doesn't get engaged on by Froggen and flipped in just as those minions are taking very low. As it is down the bottom here, Yellow Pete's going to start keeping the pressure down. Yellow Pete down on CS though. Went for the Bloodthirster and the Doran's Blade, and now we see Hercubot coming around. He could get the slowdown. It's Crepo who's going towards Yellow Pete's the one the damage is on, but the crescendo comes across and keeps Hercubot at range. Hercubot going to continue pressuring that Q on towards Yellow Pete, showing he does a lot of damage already. Froggen, meanwhile, on the top lane on Candy Panda. That flip's going to be back up. He takes him down in a 2-on-1. Well, would you believe it?
Because he was in that bottom lane getting all those levels, he was completely able to overpower him with that Catalyst. As you see EG going for Dragon now, they have a nice lead built up, and it looks like they really want to win this kind of a grudge match versus SK. 1,000
gold lead's going to get stretched to a 2,000 gold lead there, and well, Wicked was ready and waiting for Ocelot, stood on top of a ward though, so they knew he's not going to go for it. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Miss Froggen is continuing to keep pressuring on towards this top. Could we see the new Evil Geniuses here? Will we see complete lane swaps?
Froggen top, Wicked middle?
Yeah.
It could end up happening. Froggen has a huge list of champions he can play, but to me, it's just kind of like, you know what, the way we were playing before isn't working for us. They seem to be as you said it yourself, on tilt these past couple of weeks with LCS Super Week, not to mention here at Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. So why not try something a little bit new and see if it works out for you?
Well, as it was, Evil Geniuses were having fun a little bit about their losing streak, keeping up the spirits, I think it is what they were calling it. Remember reading Crepos.
Oh, they're going to dive here.
Ask me anything. Froggen is definitely going to dive on towards Hercubot. Targets on towards him. Here he comes around the side there. Going to come towards him. Going to get the flip on towards Hercubot. You're not going to be able to escape this one too quick. Now he's going to be the slow. The second flip will come in. Here comes Snoopy tanking out. Froggen manages to get away with it. Can they catch him? No, Snoopy's taking incredibly low. Ocelot, is he going to be around? No, he's not close enough. Just needed anyone there and they would have got it. And the Hercubot survives the 3v1.
Somehow, just because of that tanky ass Nasus with that Wither was able to keep Wicked away. In the meantime, we do see Candy Panda in the top lane pushing that turret down, and Kevin's been able to actually hold off a lot of damage on his own turret. He's been able to just survive long enough with that giant spell. Evil Genius is not able to be really aggressive at this bottom lane just yet.
Wicked continuing to make sure Ocelot doesn't get onto that turret, but Hercubot, you can see, is taking away them wraiths. Won't be happy with that one. Top turret is about to go down. First one of the game. Candy Panda takes that one. Now we see Kevin in the bottom lane trying to get that Shadow Dash on towards Yellow Pete. Not going to land in Voidoos from Yellow Pete. They're going to go aggressive on him here. Don't think they really have enough to follow it through. No mana on Yellow Pete.
And what we're seeing right now, we're seeing Froggen 2-0-0. We even saw Shy in the last game. He didn't have this big of a lead this early on. Froggen almost has that Rod of Ages done. And we saw just how annoying Shy was with that Singe running around into the enemy team with that teleport. And Froggen's going to be able to do just the same. And SK, they don't really have anyone to take him out just yet. They do have a good amount of CC, but Kenny Penna's just not strong enough, even with his % health damage, to take him down.
We do see Snoopy's going to make his way up towards that top lane. Yellow Pete was there, and he may even head him off. Froggen's actually starting to put the pressure down. You can see the poison running around the turret. He's going to get in there, flips him back in towards it, and he's quite happy to bait this one out because he realizes Snoopy's going to be coming back in. The second flip is there, flip back in towards Froggen, and you just got straight control. But here comes Stan United. Is Froggen getting trolled enough? Of course he is, because he got flipped 3 times.
He must be so annoyed right now. Just leave me alone. Stop throwing me around. They're flipping him off. He's like a rag doll in their hands, just throwing him each and every way. And so far, EG playing very well so far. That was a very nice gank at the top lane. Even Stubby put a ward down in the enemy blue just to kind of spot when that comes up, since they weren't able to take it away. And yet, still SK able to hold on to this bottom turret at this point.
Well, it's 2-1-2 Bear and a 2-0-1 on Froggen. How are they going to transfer this into lane phase dominance, which is starting to happen here as Froggen does what every Singe does, and that's just completely troll between waves, let the minions go down. It's the ultimate way to sacrifice and keep all of that gold away from your lane partner. There's not a great deal. There's a pause coming out. It's SK Gaming that have caused it. They can see, actually, telling a lie, I can see the admins over with Evil Genius.
Now, Kenny Penna's mic isn't working currently.
Ah, so it was SK. Okay. So it's actually, I tell a lie, it's not an admin, it's Marco, the camera guy.
It probably broke from him yelling, "Stop flipping me around!" It's for his team. Thank you, Damon, for leaving me hanging on that one.
No
but
problem,
we do have
man, no problem. I'll just say, I don't know what to say about that, honestly. There's no way to...
You can break your mic from yelling at it, can't you?
You can.
Yeah.
You could try, I don't know, you'd have to yell pretty loud. Ocelot can do that, though.
Yeah, he can.
He can.
He really can.
And we can hear him sometimes from here. We are sat, obviously, backstage, actually behind Evil Geniuses, kind of. It's kind of where we are, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, maybe if we push through right now, you can see us.
Maybe if we hit that wall really hard, maybe you'll see our handprint come through us. I'm not sure. We'd have to hit it pretty hard, I think. But it does look like that Evil Geniuses are setting themselves up, ready to go. So SK Gaming will get this back underway. 5-2 currently. Evil Geniuses with the gold lead as well. 2,000 gold and turret down currently. They did pick up that one dragon. So here we go. You can see SK Gaming ready and waiting. You can see them furiously working the keys. They are back in the game, and there's the screens just off the side there. Pretty much packed house here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships as well, which is good to see on a Thursday.
Yeah, on a Thursday.
Only going to get busier as we move into the quarterfinals and semi-finals tomorrow, and Saturday, of course, the grand final. Froggen looking like he's going to try and steal away this blue buff. Will they give it to Snoopy? I guess Froggen might well get it himself. He's just going to keep that poison ticking away, and there is the steal. So Kevin just about defending off that top lane. Are they going to go aggressive for him? No, they're not. They're all going to back off.
Yeah, Froggen has a lot of money in his pocket, sitting on 1,600 gold. He really wants to get that Rod of Ages bot just so he can start stacking up a little bit. And we've seen this happen actually in the last game. The last time these two teams met in LCS, we saw EG constantly taking away the blue buff for SK over and over just to prevent him from getting snowballed early on. As actually also did end up going for a Callus anyway, so he will have that Rod of Ages, that nice little bit of lane sustain as well with that Seeker's Arm Guard. But Wicked right now, 120 CS, 0-0-2 with that BF Sword and Brutalizer. He really can burst down pretty much, well, not anyone at this point, but at least Candy Panda, which is really where their main source of damage is going to be coming from, as well as Ocelot.
Yeah, almost an identical game actually going on in the other stream. Meteor Makers versus SK Telecom T1 still is also 5-1 to SK Telecom currently. 15 minutes gone, and that's 21 to 23k. So pretty close. There's 2-1 in turrets, which would be the little goal difference between the two games, but very, very tight games. Pretty much even between the two, who could go either way. As it is, we see a different Evil Geniuses. Is this what they needed to change things around? I'm not too sure. We could see me exiting my own screen. Sorry, I nearly turned my own screen off, though I couldn't see what the heck I'm casting. That could be fun. I've done that before just off the sounds. But as it stands, Evil Geniuses with a slight advantage, a minute off the Dragon.
And that will be the next big play happening. EG did take it last time. I remember, yeah, if I remember correctly, and they should be able to poise themselves to take it this time. We do have, yet again, Froggen just finally past that top turret, doing as every Singe does with that blue buff. And he's got to, I mean, he doesn't need to start heading down just yet. He has that teleport to follow Shannon if he wants to, and with that Ghost and Ultimate, it can really, catch SK off guard. Dragon is up in about 30 seconds.
He's going for the mid lane. Looks like he's going to target Ocelot here, and he's got Hercubot just off the side. He's going to pressure on towards that turret. Remember, the top turret is going to go down in a second anyway. So he's quite happy to keep that one at bay. Hercubot, though, showing himself, keeping them at bay. The bottom lane pressure is coming out from SK Gaming, though. Candy Panda and Nif doing a grand job of forcing them away. They are going to pass them across the blue buff, and I think they're going to give the blue buff to Yellow Pete here. He's going to come across. No, he's just going to help out Snoopy by the looks of it. Snoopy, I think Snoopy, there was a little communication problem there. I think they were thinking maybe Yellow Pete was going to take it, probably wondering why he came trotting across to help him out. Instead, he's just going to clear out his waves. Sunfire Cape being picked up by Kevin, so that's going to help him with that split push farming, but there is no split push farmer like a Singed, and as it is, he's got the CS advantage, the kill advantage, and the damage advantage.
And something that's a little interesting right now is Crepo actually went for an Aegis as his first buy. I mean, he had absolutely nothing at this point. Kevin still trying to defend this turret, but I'm pretty sure Froggen will be able to take it on this wave right here. He's just going to, well, I thought he was going to face tank it, but we do have Dragon currently up. And EG is sort of in a position to actually go for it, as we have Snoopy in the middle of the map, potentially going for a gank. As Froggen, he's just not done with him yet. He just wants him killed.
Yeah, that was Sunfire Cape. He's just keeping a distance from it. Yellow Pete, oh, Crescendo going down. Candy Panda's the target, but Nif's turning back on towards Yellow Pete. Tries to catch him down, the slowdown, and they kind of all back away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're going to try and close on towards Ocelot. You can see Wicked's going to dive in. The burst of damage. Will the ball be enough to save him? Snoopy's trying to go aggressive. Oh, couldn't flash out the shockwave. Actually pulled him back in there. Snoopy tried to avoid it, but instead, we did see Froggen trolling very deep here against Kevin, just keeping him completely away.
Yeah, he chased him down, almost actually picked up the kill as Kevin was forced to flash away, but pretty much farming in the enemy base, getting that top turret down. Evil Genius is 26,000 gold practically to the 23,000 of SK, and Dragon looks like it will be taken by EG here unless SK wants to go in for a stop, but with that ultimate down for Ocelot, I don't think they can really do anything about this.
Well, they've put the ward across. If Candy Panda going to try and steal this one away. Hercubot's going to come around there. Can they get on towards it? Snipe comes down. Stand United now from Nif as well. You can see Kevin coming in. He gets flipped once. Can Wicked get back on towards him? Gets the Shadow Dash across Wicked, but Kevin now in trouble. Has been flipped away from this one, and the Burns comes down, but now the defensive ball comes out from Ocelot. They're going to try and chase back on towards them. Crepo and Yellow Pete seem to be the target, as is Wicked. Wicked caught out down the bottom there. I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this one. Throws out the Mega Heating Glue, and now tries to turn and burn with the Ocelot. The Void Ooze comes out from Yellow Pete and saves Froggen's day.
And we saw Froggen actually teleport in from the bottom side of that with home guarded boots. It's not bad enough he has ghosts and teleport. He has those home guards as well to really catch you off guard. Luckily, he was stopped before he was able to pick anyone up, but he completely zoned SK down towards that bottom side, had 3 or 4 of them occupied for quite a long time, as the rest of his team was trying to go for that kill on Kevin, but no kills traded. However, Dragon being picked up for EG.
It is a 4,000 gold advantage, and there is Froggen with his home guard boots trotting up towards the top lane. As it stands, 2-2 in turrets. We're close in that level, but who is really going to benefit now? Looking towards the teams, the plays, the builds, the champions select. What are we thinking here, Jason? Talk us through it.
Well, the thing is, EG has this ginormous lead at this point. And I'm going to say ginormous because look where the kills currently are. You have 2 on Froggen, you have 2 on Snoopy, and they went pretty much tanky with those items. No one on SK can really do any damage against that at this point. You have Kenny Pen is the only one to do real percent damage against them, which he's behind right now, 0-2-1, at least has 141 CS. So EG, if they want to go for some team fights right now, they can fling someone pretty much back to their own base if they want to, and then follow it up with Yellow Peach just attacking him. And not to mention the ultimate out of Wicked, which I'm not sure if he's going to go into the back line or go for whoever they flip first, because if, with everyone attacking that person who gets flipped, 100 meters away, you can easily pick him up.
Evan Candy Panda just spotted Wicked there. So the ping went down, so he's immediately been caught out. He's thinking, going to have to stay away from this one, and Yellow Pete's going to pick up this bottom turret. It's going to give them the 3-2 turret advantage and a 6,000 gold lead, actually. 5,000, I'll tell a lie. Can't count. Wicked does take down the golems as well. And there is the arrow from Candy Panda trying to keep him at bay. Froggen keeps on pushing that top lane, and he has built up a pretty significant CS advantage over Kevin. 50 CS difference. That equates to a pretty big chunk of gold, especially with the fact he's 2-0-1. We see Hercubot coming in. He tried to get greedy, tried to get in and snipe and try and smite out that red buff, but it wasn't to be. And it does go across to Wicked.
And you mentioned Froggen having that huge CS lead, which he currently does have, not to mention the 2 kills and the assist. But who can SK send at him to kill him? I mean, he could just split push this entire game at this point, with Stupid being the main tank for EG in these fights, and then also just teleport in if need be. No one can do anything about him. SK's have to send multiple targets, as you see right there. Ocelot not doing really anything to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wants that fight, honestly. I don't know how much damage he could do to Froggen. He has got that giant spell on him. I don't think he'd be able to kill him. But the thing is, I don't think Froggen could probably kill Ocelot either. He could keep him at bay quite easily, unless he did something special to get around the damage that Ocelot could throw out, as well as that shockwave. Yellow Pete taking his own red buff away, so that's actually 3 of the buffs picked up off the map. Yellow Pete will clear out those wraiths. As it stands, Wicked also with a pretty sizable CS advantage. I guess you can compare him to Ocelot, but he has a 40 CS difference. He is 0-0-2 though. Not a lot of kills for SK Gaming at the moment. It's been Snoopy that, you know, the much talked about jungler so far, you know, taking a lot of heat really for some of the losses that have occurred for Evil Geniuses. Played a pretty impeccable game, 2-1-2. He's got that Oracle on, he's got that Warmogs on, he's doing his job.
Yeah, and he also is feeding, or pretty much kind of distributing the kills pretty well. I mean, yeah, he took 2, which you might look at and say, hey, you know, the jungler shouldn't take kills, but it helped him get that Warmog finish very early on.
Bit of a dance there in the mid lane between Hercubot and Wicked does put a little bit of poke down back on towards him. The bear was coming up to help out. Singe continuing to keep off that side lane. So it's 3v4 in this mid lane. Yellow Pete completely off on his own, which is why SK Gaming are trying to put pressure down here. Can they manage to hold this one off? I'm not sure they can. I think this may well be a tower earned for SK Gaming.
That's because they have to get hightailed out of there because there's nothing they can do against the 5 people
They're all chasing. They're all collapsing in on them. Evil Geniuses coming from the top and the bottom. Here comes Frog and Mega Heaves in blue. Flicked in there, but it was a great lash straight away. And the shockwaves pulls 3 members of Evil Geniuses in there. Froggen can't get close enough. Really good disengage from SK Gaming there.
Yeah, good disengage, but it pretty much leaves them vulnerable now to a team fight because they're all centered around that ultimate out of Ocelot. They need that to really do anything against EG. And you blew Froggen's ultimate, but that'll be up very shortly. They're very tanky. They have their ults, flashes, and most of Summoners up as well. SK, they can't afford to fight anymore now. Like, they have to wait for that ultimate of Ocelot, and if they don't, they will just lose the fight flat out.
Well, Snoopy, I want to slap you here because you've walked past that ward twice, but now Nif comes around, they flash across, they flash Crescendo on towards Ocelot. He manages to get caught, he's not got the shockwave, of course, available, and now they're chasing through. Froggen flips Nif back in, Nif gets dropped. It's 2 for 0, and now Evil Geniuses are going to turn and run straight for Baron.
I'm really curious why SK actually went for that. They knew they were there. Like, they saw Krepa walk right by that bush like 2-3 seconds before they got picked off. And then we saw Nif go in there, try to put actually a plant down, it looked like, and Ocelot was the one to get caught.
Well, it is going to be the Baron started off, and the Baron will get picked up. There's not a great deal SK Gaming can do about this one. They're not going to be able to prevent it. That's going to turn the gold pretty big in favor of Evil Geniuses, as well as giving him that huge buff that you get from it. There it is. So, 6,000 gold. Evil Geniuses with the lead. Can they pick up their first win here against SK Gaming? And ironically, I think, you know, barring some crazy results, it may even take both of them out of the tournament.
Yeah, we could have a tie, if I remember correctly.
There is a 2-3 tie possibly.
There's the potential, but still, they would pretty much knock themselves out of the game if he doesn't win that, or out of the tournament if he does actually pick that up. But you're going to be taken away now for Evil Geniuses. And Demon, I was just looking over at Froggen real quick. He has Baron, and with that ultimate up, his health regen is going to be like on the level of Mundo at that point.
He's definitely very strong. Let's see what he builds up. It's going to be a Ryla's Crystal. Now he's at 2-0-3. It's going to be the ultimate troll with that slow potentially proccing out from the poison. So what are they going to do about this one, SK Gaming? They've honestly not played that badly. They've been making the plays. It's just simply the Evil Geniuses have that Singe. They have the Volley Bear. Great much? That's really terrible English.
A great amount?
Great amount of crowd control is what I was after, along with the Voidoos and the Mega Adhesive Glue. So they've got the slows, the flips, the stuns with the Crescendo. They have some great control, and SK Gaming don't seem to be able to match that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking me what can SK do, and it's just, there's not really, I mean, there is a chance. There always is a chance. If they can hold on,
that can happen.
And they can farm up and get, you know, Candy Pen pretty fed. Also, we'll get to the point where we'll start actually hurting quite a bit. But that's like 20 minutes away we're looking at. They have to hold on that long just to match them. And if EG keeps the pressure they're doing, if they keep picking up Barons, picking up Dragons, taking away gold from SK in their own jungle and pushing turrets, then SK, it's going to be very hard for them to kind of come back in the game.
Snoopy trying to look towards the bush there, and immediately the moment SK approach it, they're keeping the pink wards down. They're trying to clear out They can't afford the Oracle, but they're going to keep those wards, those pink wards down there. They're trying to clear out as much as they can, keep that vision in that jungle. But Snoopy with the Oracle is going to come around. They're going towards that red, smites it away from Candy Panda.
And Froggen on the top side, he's pushing past that turret yet again with that Crystal Scepter. Kevin can't even catch him.
Wicked is coming across to try and help out as well. And like you mentioned, Froggen is going to keep him busy, keeping him occupied. They're going to push on towards that turret. They're going to double man on the top turret. They're keeping also around the side there. They may try and capture on Crepo. No, he's just going to get warded out. He's put the ping down, and Froggen continues to keep the pressure on this top lane. Here comes Wicked as well, and now the bottom lane as well. They're going to be pushing both inner turrets at the same time. SK Gaming stretched a little for this one. They've only got 2 members down the bottom. They can't defend it. They were trying to send 3 top, thinking that was where they were coming from, but instead simply they don't have the vision, they don't have the ability to figure out where EG are going with their next step.
Yeah, they were stretched way too thin on that situation. They can't really kill Singed, but they also don't want to give him some free turrets, which he's going to be picking up very soon anyways.
He's nearly 100 CS ahead right now.
Yeah, and he's 2-0-3. How much gold does he have total? 10,300 gold total. The most in the game by a large margin.
Well, yeah, and the main thing is, Shen is a split pusher, and without that ability to split push, I mean, that's Shockwave's going to come in there on Froggen, but honestly, I feel that's 3 ultimates now used to try and keep him down, 2, sorry, and they are trying to keep him, but look at this, he's just trolling, he's just going to run back, he realizes he can run away, he goes back in and gets the damage down because the rest of his team are collapsing in. Nif getting taken very low, has to throw out another ultimate burn. Zyra tries to keep him at bay, and Evil Geniuses, well, they are going to disengage, but honestly, there's not a great deal. SK threw everything at that, and they can't kill him.
Yeah, they even threw a couple of, or an Ignite in there as well. They cannot kill Froggen. As long as he has that ghost up, he should be able to just run away and laugh the entire time. Not to mention, was it next patch, you'll be able to spam laugh while running, it won't stop you. So I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of Singes actually do that. But with the home guarded boots, as you see him run out of his base, I was expecting maybe a teleport coming out of him to actually catch them off guard. If you put the ward, to the side of the, or inside the base, but to the side of the turret, he can teleport in there with the home guarded boots, easily catch someone and open up that opportunity.
So I'm being told that SK Telecom T1 have won, so they've beaten Meteor Makers, which has sent Meteor Makers out of the tournament, I think, and if Evil Geniuses win, which it's looking like they may do, it also means SK Gaming and EG are out. Well, what
Hopefully
an interesting situation, who would have thought? But,
hopefully EG doesn't know that, because then they could obviously just throw the game.
Well, they wouldn't want to, because they want at least a win with pride, especially against the League of Legends Championship Series member that SK Gaming are. They don't want to lose to SK Gaming. I mean, they don't want to lose to a bitter rival, but more importantly, they want to win a game, because they are currently, is it 4 games? 4 games from LCS they lost.
Yeah.
They're 3 games down here. That would put them on like an 8-game losing streak or something like that. I'm trying to think which one they won. They won the first game, didn't they, in the LCS Super Week? I think it was the...
I don't know, that was a long time ago for me. That was a lot of games ago.
We were a bit punch drunk. We've probably done about 40 or 50 games over the last week ourselves. So as it stands, though, 7-2, 11,000 gold lead for Evil Geniuses and a 6-3 turret. Baron buff has worn out, but it doesn't mean that Evil Geniuses are going to stop pushing yet.
And look at Crepo. I mean, he's only bought one real item this entire game. Runic Bulwark and boots. No GP10. He's bought, I think he has bought, well, he has one Oracle currently on him at this point, but going the ultimate support route, not even getting the GP10 because they've had so many kills. He's had a lot of gold income from the assists. He doesn't really need it at this point.
Well, that tower is nearly down. It's got about a third health remaining. As it is, they're just going to push in one more time. Static Shiv, Infinity Edge is going to do that damage. He's gone for Ferrura boots as well. Easy for me to say.
I was like, wait, is that how you pronounce it? I don't remember. But anyways, I mean, we do have EG going up for a push on the mid lane. We have Froggen at the bottom. He's trying to keep that split pressure going on. I'm really expecting Crepo to put a ward down like in the base so Froggen can get in there with that teleport and with that ultimate.
I think Froggen was simply watched shy and said, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a needlessly large rod as well. And why not get a Rabadon's Death Cap? That's what I'm going to go for next. It seems to be the way to go. He is over 120 CS ahead now of Kevin. And if we're going to be fair, it would be Ocelot. Technically, he should be paired with, but he's still 70 CS ahead there. And the ultimate farmer seems to continue going. Yellow Pete tries to throw out the Voidoos and actually lays down a lot of damage. And look at that, just a couple of shots onto Kevin, stripped his health down there. Kevin, Ocelot, Kevin taking a lot of, Crepo taking a lot of damage from Ocelot, sorry. Going to keep that ball going towards him. But they are just holding off.
Oh, yeah, they're holding up because, what's the point in losing in a fight right now when they can go get that Baron in 30 seconds? They have Dragon currently up right now as they're already heading over in that direction, going to push out that top lane and take everything out of the jungle they possibly can away from SK.
Yeah, the Baron will be up in 20 seconds. That top wave is going to get cleared out. Yellow Pete and Crepo in position, just clearing out any ward placement that they require. They're keeping all of the lanes pushed. Froggen's going to back off. Everybody from Evil Genius is going to back off and get prepared for that Baron fight. And honestly, they are in complete control. Oh my word, he's gone for a Zonya's Hourglass.
I just look at that. I was expecting a death cap
That's like the
Shy.
ultimate troll setup, that is. A Zonya's Hourglass on Singed is pure troll. You think, I've got him, no.
And then the whole time he's regenning from his ultimate as well. But we do see a 3-man Baron heading out for EG at this point, as CeBIT is going to join the pack. And look at all the amount of wards currently in the SK jungle on the top side. There's nothing really they can do to even get near this. And one thing that's really kind of confused me and surprised me a little bit is Kevin on Shen. I mean, we've seen him at LCS play a solid Olaf, solid Shen, solid everything in that top lane, even Aurelia. And yet this game, he just seems to be having a little bit of trouble.
I think he was confused by the fact he was facing Froggen. He was like, what's happening here? Why have I got this? Hasn't been able to get the Mercury treads on there. Hasn't been able to go for that Warmox, which he's trying to build up. You can see he's desperately trying to get in there. But as it stands, every time he's had to use Stand United, it's purely to save it. Bot lane is pushing, but it's the mid lane where the turret's going to go down. And that's an inhibitor already picked up. It's going to be Froggen getting caught out here. Tried to teleport away, I think. Trying to get out of it. You see Candy Panda. Actually, the poison might be enough to get him. Froggen does finally go down. Candy Panda with a lot of minions. He's going to lifesteal it back, but Evil Geniuses have taken that inhibitor down, so 1 kill for an inhibitor. I think they'll be happy with that.
But that kill wasn't even necessary. If you actually were watching the fight the entire time, from the beginning, he ran in there, flipped out Candy Panda, popped his Zonias. just there, just like that. He wasn't even in trouble, wasn't taking any damage, and popped the Zonias, and then from that, we saw Shen ulti in and save his life.
Completely delaying and keeping him at bay, but yeah, that Stand United, like I mentioned, is used all the time just to purely save that AD carry at the moment. Finally, it's worked and he's got a kill from it. But honestly, without losing an inhibitor, it wasn't worth it for me. And Wicked continues on to keep damage down. He's 1-0-3 right now. What do we think of Wicked Zed?
It hasn't been bad in any way at all, but it hasn't really been on the level of Alex Ich that we saw yesterday off of Gambit Gaming. I mean, we just saw him constantly diving the AD carry, even the AP carry, just pretty much killing everyone he possibly had the chance for. Then again, he was against a ranged AP, you know, an Orianna who can just auto-attack the entire time while you're trying to farm and really drop you down quickly.
Hasn't been on the level of Insec either. He's just godly on that champion.
I remember when he first used it in Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, it completely caught EG off guard, even Meteor Makers.
Yeah, Froggen though, going to run up the top, get a huge wave clearance there, so that's probably going to maybe double. Oh, get close to doubling Kevin CS shortly. He's just...
He's getting close, really close.
There, really close. He's going to keep on going. SK Gaming trying to clear out everything they can. Try and take a small respite and push out a little bit from their own jungle, try and clear out. You can see the amount of wards that have gone out in SK's jungle does mean they're going to have good vision of Evil Geniuses. It's why they're starting to push out. So they're really invested in these wards. Can they make use of them?
No. I mean, I hate to just say that flat out, but with how strong EG is, you can't fight him in the jungle. You have to just farm up in your base. The wards are nice, as actually do see Froggen getting caught.
He's going to get a lot of damage down on him. He's keeping him down, work down here. Froggen may well get chased on. Ocelot's going to come across if he can get the ball out, but look at that. The Rylers, the Voidoos, the Mega Adhesive Glue, I'll get my words out eventually, does manage to just stop them in their tracks. And while all that's happening, Evil Geniuses are rotating down towards the bottom lane. They're keeping the poke going on.
And Froggen has that teleport to get in when he wants to. He's actually teleporting into the base at this moment. He might go in for this fight.
He may well go for it. You can see he's going to come around. Here comes Froggen with the home guard boots, comes charging through, but immediately gets caught out, but it doesn't matter. The inhibitor turret has gone down. The inhibitor's going to follow. They're continuing to attack Froggen. Why would you do that? He's just going to troll you and tank you back. Shockwave only catches out Wicked and Froggen. The Zyra ultimate misses everything. The inhibitor's still getting worked down, and there's Yellow Pete taking down Candy Panda. The flash crescendo comes out from Crepo. He keeps them at bay. They can see the Voidoos going out there, and Evil Geniuses are going to close out this game. And the home guard boots from Ocelot's not going to be enough to deter them. They take down one turret. There's a flip on towards Hercubot. He's going to try and do as much as he can. The Wither's not going to slow him down. The Kevin gets flipped now. They're getting flippity-flopped all over the shop, but it is going to be the final Nexus turret going down, and the Nexus will drop. And that ironically means that Evil Geniuses and SK Gaming are out of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships.
I would love to see that conversation after, like, yeah, guys, we won, great job. And the manager or someone comes up and says, yeah, but you knocked yourself out.
An ironic cheer from Evil Geniuses there as they celebrate going out of the tournament. Not the turn-up they wanted, but, well, they've beaten SK Gaming nonetheless. We are going to go over to our analysis desk to take us through that one, and, well, an interesting setup from Evil Geniuses. Is this new layout? Are we going to see the new mid laner and top laner? Who knows? Jarrett, over to you.
EG takes their first win
of the tournament. Still sad. They eliminate SK from the tournament. Both of the teams are eliminated now, and in fact, on the other stream, SK T1 defeated MYM, securing their spot. Top 3 teams have been decided. CJ Entis Frost, SKT T1 Telecom, and Nexus move on to the playoffs. What we have to do next is determine who they play in the playoffs.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we jump into talking about this particular matchup, just so everybody's 100% clear why that happened. The previous game, SK Telecom Team 1, they were 2-1 up in the group, and they were fighting MYM, who were 1-2. And because MYM lost, they go 1-3 in the grouut. It pushes SKT T1 to 3-1. There are 3 teams with 3 victories, 3 teams with 3 losses. It's mathematically impossible for you to catch up. So, as we said, the bottom half has been decided, and it's just the top half that's going to determine seeding. And now they're playing for who they fight against, because, of course, we have the semi-finals.
Of course, it's fighting for the bye spot more than it's seeding. It's that everyone wants that top spot. They want that bye. They want to go straight to semi-finals. So that's what they're playing for next. That's what we're about to see them fight their hearts out for. We're going to have SK Telecom T1 versus SK Gaming. It's going to be fun for our lovely casters.
Yeah, SK versus SK. I think SK will win.
SK,
See what I did there?
I think we saw.
Thank you.
Panky, talk us through the opening moments of that game. We've seen first and foremost Froggen playing Singed. He took it into top, which became bottom lane. We've seen Wicked playing Zed, who went middle lane. Lane swaps happen. What do you think of the swaps?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen teams run, like we've got Moscow 5. Look at that. Diamond Prox loves Zichao, he can dominate in the jungle, but at the same time, Darien has run in the top lane from time to time. A lot of other situations where your mid laners and your top laners can play the same champions and switch them backwards and forwards. EG looked at it and went, well, we want to put Zed in the mid against Orion, we want to put Singed in the top, but Wicked can't play Singed and Froggen can't play Zed so well. Why can't they just swap? And that's what they did, and it worked out. Froggen definitely had fun, simply put as that.
Well,
Sonya's ability power all the way through.
A lot of the Evil Geniuses members seem to have a bit more fun with that. There was a carefree style to the game.
Honestly, I think that helped them out.
Out of their comfort zone. Now, I wanted to ask you your opinion. Did you think it was that style of not turtling up, not farming that tried to help them win, or was it SK making mistakes?
It wasn't SK making a mistake. EG there went back to their roots. Simple as that. Okay, it was slightly different champions, and they switched roles, but it was a case of strong late game in Kog'Maw, strong late game in Singed. Volibear just got ridiculously tanky and engaged in their fights. Wiki got tanky, dived on the squishies, and that's the way they worked. They kept their late game steady, their early game steady, they kept their mid game steady. They took it in late game and just slowly, meticulously took down EG's base. There was a couple of face check moments which SK made it a lot harder for themselves by giving away some free kills, not wanting properly, not using the balls properly, just going straight into the team. But other than those, they didn't play particularly bad. It wasn't their fault, 100%.
I like the picks. I like the carefree style. It's a bit of a bummer to see the first Evil Geniuses victory resulting in them knocking out SK Gaming. We were trying to do the math back here, sitting with pens and papers and looking at all sorts of tables and everything, and it's a bit depressing to see, Evil Geniuses and SK Gaming, who were sort of the favorites really coming into that matchup, deciding who would knock out both teams.
Yeah, it's a little bit disheartening, but again, it meant they relaxed a little bit, took it a bit free, had some fun, enjoyed it, and it gave them something to play for. SK really had to play their hearts out if they wanted to stay in, and even the fact that it's playing in that game and just winning it only kept you with a chance. It didn't even keep them in. They'd have to win another game from there. I mean, the big uphill
Any chance is better than no chance.
Exactly, but big uphill battle, more to play for, made it more on the line for them, and unfortunately, it means there's more to lose, but that's gone through. I do believe ready on stage.
Yes, that's it for our analysis. Shox is ready on stage with Froggen, one of my favorite players. I'm excited. Let's go over there.
Hello, I'm here with Froggen, mid for EG. You gotta move a little. So Froggen, you still look happy, nonetheless. Not doing too good in the tournament. Is that because you could troll with Singed?
I'm not trolling with Singed. It's basically just because we won our first match in like 8 games.
So I gotta ask you. Last week you guys were tweeting, we're not in a red here. There's nothing going on, but facing reality here, there is something going on. Is there anything you can say to us about that?
Nope.
Is your team doing amazing? So how are you gonna get those wins back?
Basically, we have to start working on our early game a bit and to keep the lead and the early aggression. That has always been our problem, and now it doesn't work just to snowball the games anymore or turtle the games. So we have to find another way around it, and we're having a really hard time finding that way.
And then the bigger picture, it's not just you guys, it's also Fnatic, it's also SK that seem to be not doing well coming out of Super Week. It's only Gambit. So where do you think the cause lies?
I think preparing for a lot of teams is hard for us, and for Gambit they're just playing their own game and they've been practicing what they like to play, so they don't really have any troubles doing that.
Okay, finally, who do you think will take this tournament? Who do you think is strong?
I think Gambit will take it pretty convincingly.
Yeah, one final question. Are you then afraid not of Gambit that they seem to be the only one who can overcome being in Super Week and they can perform well here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Froggen doesn't know yet. Anyway, congratulations on your first victory. And we'll be right back with our last match of the day.